You got it?
Now we're live on YouTube. Got it.
All right. I'm muted, so. Judge, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Can't hear him. How do I adjust? I tried that. We're having trouble hearing you, so I'm going to try to adjust the volume.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if he is muted his
No, I can hear him. It's just. I'm not. Which where?
Or to the right, all the way. There you go.
What's that?
Aha.
Not that one.
All right, now we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good evening. Or-
Good evening.
Or afternoon, depending on where you are. It was 63 degrees and sunny here today, so.
Where are you?
Southern California.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
And my daughter lives in Rancho Cucamonga. We have been here almost a week tomorrow, Wednesday. So we'll be here for a while.
Nice. I
Sounds
think I
wonderful.
hear Emily coming in now.
Are we expecting any others by
There she
Zoom?
Yep. No others by Zoom.
Okay,
Nope, wherever you want.
And we don't have anyone else coming, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all are present.
okay. I'll call the meeting to order. Is Alice going to do the roll or Dee or you?
I can do the roll.
Okay,
Ben Forster,
Present?
Emily Pratt,
Present.
Ellen Smith,
Present.
Judge Beckman,
present.
and that
We have a quorum. Have a short agenda, but we have some discussion for tonight. You want to take care of the petition or you want to do the minutes next? Everybody received a copy of the minutes of the November meeting.
Yes.
Any additions or corrections?
No.
Anyone want to make a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then we have the county's petition. You want to take care of that? Do you want to give a explanation of what the county's asking?
Sure. According to the standard industrial classification system the county adopted in the early 2000s, a mini warehouse is only a permitted use in an I-2 general industrial district. So someone has petitioned the county for a self-storage unit facility. And I've kind of put that self-storage units under mini warehouses, which is defined in the county code as a building containing separate storage areas of varying sizes, which are leased or rented on an individual basis. Well, if you can see, I've given you a copy of a diagram from the county code that shows mini warehouses are only allowed under Ag 1, I-1, and I-3, but only as special uses. So commercial the commercial districts was either completely forgotten about or just overlooked in the past. But I am asking that the Plan Commission recommend adding the 3 commercial districts as text amendments to the county code.
Any discussion on that? Any issues or questions that anybody has?
Seems like a good idea to me.
Did-
Okay,
At it in all 3 commercial districts.
okay.
So I have a question. Where are the codes? As far as the.
So at the bottom, and I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't get you this. It was
No, that's fine.
at the bottom is the use.
No, I've got the use. I'm just wondering what the.
Oh, S is special use,
Okay,
P is permitted use,
okay.
and T is temporary.
Gotcha.
So it's only permitted in an I2 district
Currently.
currently.
So are the reasons why we would only want to put it, Alice, in some of the commercial?
I think the intent was to have it only in the commercial setting.
No, not only in the commercial setting, it would remain in the ag as a special use. It would remain in the industrial. My concern or question is whether it's an appropriate use in all 3 commercial districts, because all 3 districts allow for different things.
So maybe more specifically at what they, well, that's probably a good idea.
So I did review adjacent county codes, and they had their mini warehouse or self-storage facilities labeled under their commercial districts, but I did not investigate if it was under all 3 of their commercial districts or just specifically one, C1, C2, or C3.
So in Lee County, the C1 district is neighborhood office and business district.
Yes,
C2 is a planned office and business district, and C3 is general business district.
right.
So I guess my thoughts or my question to you guys is, do you feel that this would be appropriate in all 3 of those districts?
What was one again?
Planned, or
I'm
maybe
sorry, I couldn't hear that.
she wanted to know what C1 was, and it is neighborhood office and business district.
And I think the thinking behind allowing by special use was simply that the county would then have the control over it. To get you can't do it automatic, you got to get the approval of the county. So location, size, all of those things are going to be governed by the special use.
Correct.
Would it be an easier undertaking than rezoning the property? To fit.
Correct. Well, right now we have a petitioner coming in a mile and a half within the city of Dixon. And when they found out that the petitioner wanted to go for an I2 rezoning, then get the special use for the mini warehouse, city of Dixon doesn't want industrial zones on the outline where they're proposing to have this. And so they were questioning, why isn't it being put in up to a commercial district? So that's kind of where we started as to why isn't any commercial district listed under this?
So maybe we should make it a special use under C1, C2, and C3?
Logical.
What
Yes.
the petitioner, what is it zoned at now where they would like to put it?
Right now, it's zone C3.
Okay.
Which is, so when they come back in to repetition,
It'll be as a special.
it'll just be as a special use.
Instead of,
And the city is okay with the commercial use being in that area where they're proposing compared to an industrial use, which is a very high, heavy use.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Seems like special use in all 3 would be, I don't know, fine with me, unless you guys think differently.
I'm good with it.
Okay. What do you think it should be? Ellen? You think it's okay in all three districts?
Well, if it's a special use, I think so. They'd have to petition them, right?
They'll have to petition.
Right, so they'd have to petition. So if there was something irregular or different, I mean, they could still turn it down.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Then,
And conditions.
Right.
The board has the power to add conditions then.
right, absolutely.
I agree.
Can we move it on to the county?
Sounds good to me.
All right, anyone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Are these supposed to be, I forgot, are these supposed to be roll call votes? I don't think they have to be.
Not unless they're called for.
Okay, that's what I was, my recollection was, but I wasn't 100% sure. So, okay. Under new business, Dee, you want to explain at least initially what the county is asking of us?
County is asking for the planning commission to undertake looking at the comprehensive plan. So in the past, Lee County's worked with Vanderwall and Associates to create the county's comprehensive plan in 2000 and in 2010. Prior to initiating a contract with Vanderwall and Associates, it was suggested that the Plan Commission read through the 2010 comprehensive plan, identifying, and I have this here for you, key issues, emerging trends, areas of the plan that needs to be changed, rewritten, or eliminated, initiative in the plan that are now unrealistic, are going in the wrong direction, or may have now been accomplished. Another one was prioritizing the county's objectives, goals, and any key factors and/or challenges facing the county in the future. After going through and breaking down each section of the plan, the members will be encouraged to brainstorm priorities and new directions for the county at future planning meetings. It's important that the information the members agree upon to be highlighted be compiled into a scope of services for Vanderwall and Associates that will be used to prepare the planning process. Each member will become familiar with the plan as a whole and will be able to concentrate more on policies, recommendations, and implementation strategies. The company will provide updated baseline data for the first 50 pages of the volume 2 or volume 1. So volume 2 is kind of what I would like the committee to be reviewing for the meeting in February and looking over the county's goals and objectives.
volume 2.
Volume 2. Volume 1 is mostly statistics, and they have that as far as.
Yeah, they'll generate all the number reports and data and stuff like that. Just to keep in mind though, that Lee County is agricultural. That is the goal of the county, is to maintain the agricultural environment. So the county remains on that path. However, we are looking now with renewables and how that's impacting farming and agricultural. And so we want to look at our plan to see how we can make those two things work together. But that's just one part of it. So
Okay.
County was, a couple of comments was to seriously look at our LISA, Land Evaluation Site Assessment Plan. What's another area? Oh, in the comprehensive plan. And renewables.
renewables is one of the things that has been where the comprehensive plan keeps getting brought up, is that our current comprehensive plan doesn't allow for renewables. That's not entirely true. It does talk about the wind. However, solar has now, become a thing here in Lee County. So we need our comprehensive plan to reflect where the county wants to head with that.
So is this correct? It doesn't not allow the solar, it just isn't in the plan?
It references it, but the county board wants more direction as to where solar should go. And I don't know if that's something that will be identified through the comprehensive plan. But it's something that you need to consider, I guess, how to make ag and renewables work. I don't think solar is going anywhere. I think renewable energies are going to continue to evolve, and the county has to be prepared to handle that. So we just need to see what we can do.
Yeah, I did spend a little time with the comprehensive plan this afternoon. And I question, under volume 1 of the comprehensive plan is all the statistics. And I'm wondering how much of that we need to see before we start looking at some of the changes and things, population growth, concentration areas, those kind of things. In the abstract, we probably don't need those at all. But from a practical standpoint, we look at the size of the city of Dixon, for example, and they just added 500 to 600 acres into the city. So now that 1.5-mile zone just got much bigger. And so I'm just asking these questions. I don't have answers at this point. We as a committee have to decide what we want and what we need. But I also think the county's pretty much given us a clean slate to look at everything in the plan and make sure it's working, make sure it fits, and to go from there. It's a huge undertaking if we say we have to do it all within a certain time limit. But we can certainly break it down into the land use areas and give assignments to each of us to review and do and bring to the next meeting, or at least get started in looking at those kind of things. What's everybody else's thoughts?
Is the volume 1 that we have now, are those statistics 2010 statistics or
Yep.
2020?
No, those are old.
2010.
I'm not sure we can write a new comprehensive plan for 2020 and beyond without 2020 statistics, can we?
The population has shrunk.
It really hasn't changed that much.
Right.
Right. I don't think population has changed much in the census. The areas might have, because they break it down into the townships and the villages and the cities.
Okay.
And there probably some changes there, but certainly the land use changes are in some areas going to be substantial.
Well, and as you referenced, population of Dixon really hasn't changed in the last 100 years, but they're adding 500-600 acres.
Yeah.
So
Would we be able to see if Vandewally would be able to provide us anything?
Well, I
Yeah,
think I'm assuming we now have the 2020 census. I'm not sure if that's actually out and available. Most of the stuff that we're looking for may be gleaned from at least reviewing that. And I don't know who in the county has access to that, if anybody, whether it's at the library or those kind of things. But we can certainly look for those things and see if what kind of changes there are. And then I think, Dee, your thought was we would break out the land use definitions and permitted uses and give each member of the committee an assignment. Am I correct in that?
Well, as I went through it again, I'm just wondering if each of us could just go through volume 2 and look through it, and see if they see any changes that they want to make to it, anything thing that needs to be just taken out completely. And then we come back maybe in February and compare notes.
Okay,
Was the Lisa and the renewables the only two things the county board mentioned that we need to take a closer look at, or are there other things?
And is there something specific that they want us to look at with the Lisa? Is there like, are there
Well,
specific problems
And
with it
that's the
or?
thing is, I don't know if the Lisa, will that really,
Effect.
well, is that part of the comprehensive plan? Or do we need to do that separately?
No, it's
I
part
know
of,
we did it when we did the comprehensive plan.
you remember?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Hear the history of this group.
Yeah.
Alice.
So,
Alice is keeping us together.
so we'll keep that in mind, but I think that question needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
Which comes first, the Lisa or the plan?
Well, they're kind of, you know,
Right.
together, but I just wondered if there was something specific about the Lisa that someone doesn't like or, I mean, a lot of it's subjective, not all of it.
I think this last go round of the renewable energy, following the Lisa would have said, don't put it here. And the county approved it anyway. So I think there's a lot of question at that point of, you're not going to follow it, you know, what good is it? And how much of a tool is it? Is it the determining factor or is it just one of? And I think that we can certainly look at and see where it goes.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Exactly right.
Thank you.
So we want everybody then to look at volume 2 of the comprehensive plan for next month.
Does that seem like a reasonable undertaking for you folks?
How many pages is volume 2?
I think,
It's a fast read.
Yeah. Well,
I just, no.
Over 50, over 55. Over 55.
It's a chunk.
It is a chunk.
but we can at least read it and then decide if there's certain things that people specifically will look at or have questions of or suggestions. I mean, it's been a long time since I have read it.
well, and I think there's probably, as we go through it, a lot of it that we would simply say it looks fine. We don't need changes. Some we may need to tweak here and there, and there may be things we need to add or subtract based on where we are as a county.
If anything, it is educating us
Right.
as to what's in this plan and go from there.
And our next meeting would be the 7th. Is that true?
I'm sorry, what was that, Emily?
Our next meeting would be the 7th, right? That's the next first Monday.
Yes.
You'll be able to make that.
And if you can't get through all of it, if you can at least get a start, then that's,
I'm thinking I need to make a better deadline because I'm gonna have questions.
Well,
I need to
Write it in
remind
and bring it
myself
in.
on the 24th, hey, you gotta have this read because you're gonna have to ask people
I'm
questions.
sending you emails daily. Read.
You can have a calendar where
I know.
Start jotting down the questions as you read through it.
Right, exactly, flagging some things.
Yeah.
And if you have questions, Dee and I are both available, so.
Just wondering if,
Yeah, I mean,
as I flag, I should try to send you guys.
we can set reviewing it all in February as a goal and work on chunks of it if that's what works best. We don't have to have a definite finish it in February, that's for sure. So,
Yeah, there's, how long did it take you this last time to get through?
Well, doing the plan, it took forever,
like a year and a half.
a really long time. We met every month.
So maybe nothing in here needs to be changed except for renewable energies. Maybe. But
And we can look at the Lisa, but
Yeah,
I'm not really sure, you know.
certainly in the private real estate, the single-family dwellings and the like, there certainly hasn't been much growth in the county, so those one that, you know, probably won't change much at all. Some of the others, you know, may have some changes in them. But, I have no problem in saying, let's look at the whole plan, volume 2 in February. If we don't get to the end of it, we always can continue it on to another month. That's not a problem either. We're not given a deadline by the county, so we'll work at our own pace and give them a finished product when we've got it.
that sound okay?
That agreeable?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for tonight?
Books, read aloud books. Nothing else unless.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thanks,
John.
Jen.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good week.
Enjoy the weather.
Thank you, I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.